to the Masters and Diamond Tournament semifinals. We have ViViD Sorrow and Team Ascension's Fox are going to be duking it out. Both Masters players. ZVT on Foxtrot. So yeah, should be a good series. Hey, hello everybody, this is Chaos with KLC Sports Productions, bringing you the Masters and Diamond Tournament for Shots Fired Gaming semifinals. We have two wonderful players who've been fighting it out for that. I believe it's a stream key is the prize for this week. So, duking it out for that Steam key. So yeah, without any further ado, spawning on the upper right-hand corner here on Foxtrot Ladder Edition for Team ViViD Gaming, it is Sorrow. And spawning on the upper left-hand corner in the pink trunks for Team Ascension, it is Foxer. Now, I did not, unfortunately, get to cast Foxer last night. Team Ascension did go up against No Dice Gaming that I got to cast yesterday. And I don't believe Foxer ever got to get out on the battlefield and duke it out with the No Dice Gaming folks. So it'll be interesting to see yet another Team Ascension player, how he does. But yeah, TVZ on Foxtrot Labs. I'm still getting used to a lot of these maps. These maps are kind of a little odd in my opinion. I think that the upper left and lower right spawn locations definitely are a little bit easier to deal with drops than the other spawning positions, just because there's so much extra area kind of in the back sides of your main base where opportunities may strike. So anyways, Sorrow is going to actually get a really fast scout out, and he is actually going to see the reactor. So he's actually going to be pretty confident in knowing what's going to be coming his way. Probably will be anticipating a Reaper Expand type build, but we will have to see whether or not, yes indeed, we actually are seeing a Reaper Expand type build. So pretty typical opening for most Terran players. Let's see. We do have a pool first coming out of our Zerg player. Going to go straight into that 15 expansion into what I would believe to be an 18 extractor. So pretty standard openings for both players. Reaper not quite finished yet. Going to be coming out and getting a little bit of scouting, but actually going to be okay. So he's going to go bottom, top. That's a really strange scouting position. But actually, given this map and the places where you can jump down and get back up, actually, it works out perfectly because of this small little jump up that you've got here. So yeah, it's probably the quickest path you could have taken to get a scout on all bases. So Chaotix is like, woo, incoming Diamond and Masters. Oh yeah, rocking it out. But yeah, so Sarah's going to definitely have to get himself into a position to defend off this Reaper. Reaper will get in. Actually needs to be very careful not to lose that Reaper. That Reaper is going to be very crucial to get the scouting information that he needs. But so far, he's looking for an opportunity. Might get caught again. He's got to be very careful. Going to sneak around, try and get in here. Actually going to see a little bit, maybe. Not really. Queen's quite not in position. So yeah, not really going to get a whole lot of information. He's probably going to just chill out, let him heal up a little bit with those combat drugs. Meanwhile, back in Foxer's base, he's going to be kind of switching over to the Reactor Hellion style play that we see a lot of Terrans do in the pro scene. So definitely going to be seeing a pretty standard build coming out from him. Reaper's still trying to, now that he's almost back up to full health, he's going to be trying to get back in there as quickly as possible. Queen's kind of in position, ready to pounce on him as soon as he tries to get back in. But yeah, with the Hellions coming out, I think things are starting to, actually, this could potentially do some damage. It really depends on, ooh, nice surround. Ling's actually going to go ahead and take that Reaper out. That is a big loss. Granted, the Hellions are now across the field and should be in a decent enough position to do a little bit of harassment. Actually, Hellions are going straight into the main. What the heck? No defenses whatsoever. He's going to get in there, scout the Roach Warren, and actually get some really, really nice shots off. We'll have to see whether or not he can actually get some drone kills. So far, 5 drones, not too shabby. Definitely worth those Hellions' life. Definitely a nice little pick off there for Foxer, getting in there, seeing everything that's up. He does see the roaches out and knows that his opponent's probably going to be doing some type of a quick attack. So he's really focusing on getting out all of the... Ooh, actually, he's in a really bad position. Only 1 barracks worth of production, as well as Lings are already streaming in here. Hellion's not going to be able to get. Lings doing tons of damage. This might be just enough to put Sorrow in a very demanding lead. The supply depot is going to get lifted, but yeah, a lot of these Lings going to go to town on some of these SCVs. Tank will defend for now, but roaches are coming across. Tank is going to go ahead and fend off for now. Okay, we got some SCVs getting pulled to make sure that there's enough, but there's a lot of roaches here. If he can get in even with just one of these supply depots, he might be able to get in here and get a lot of damage done. But the tank does show to have enough brute force to go ahead and push this back. But yeah, that was definitely a nice little counterattack there by Sorrow. Definitely minimized any and all mining that was happening at that natural. And behind this, Sorrow's just going to go ahead and take his 3rd base and continue on droning. 16 drones being produced. Definitely going to be catching up from that small little... Ooh, Link's trying to get in and get some damage done. Roaches are trying to get up and not quite close enough to the tank. Tank will go ahead and get repaired now. But yeah, you know, Sorrow really trying to capitalize on his slight lead that he has. I don't think sacrificing those units was quite that beneficial, but we will have to see how it pans out. Uh-oh, a little bit of lag going on. So we got some extra gases going down here for Sorrow. Lair is on the way. And actually a Baneling Nest is going to also go down. Gotta be a little bit worried about... Actually, he might... Depending on... Baneling Nest was just made, so he might try and sneak in with a couple Banelings. We'll have to see whether or not he can actually get the damage done. He's got to be very careful about that tank, though. Tank's going to get one shot off, trying to deny a little bit of gas mining, so... But yeah, so things are shipping up pretty well for Sorrow. Definitely crazy amount of drones on that natural. Going to start getting that 3rd base up and running. So Lings are starting to stream across the field. 14 more drones on the way. He's going to just fully insta-saturate that 3rd base. Meanwhile, does look like Foxer going to be actually looking to push out a little bit. It will get scouted by Sorrow's Ling. So Sorrow at this point is going to be looking to potentially... Yep, scan goes down on that 3rd base. Does see that it's going down, and he actually does see some of Banelings morphing in, so he definitely knows that the Banelings are out on the field. And with a couple medevacs moving across the field, that will definitely aid in the this attack. So Tank's gonna hopefully set up a little bit further out. And then Marine's going to come in here, try and get some nice shots off Baneling. Sorrow's trying to make sure that all his Baneling hits count. More Roach is going to go ahead and pop out as well as a Spire transition. Very interesting call. I do think it is the right decision because Muta's swinging around the back, trying to get the surface area they need for the tanks. But yeah, the nice splitting here. Not really sure why he's preemptively splitting, but trying to get as much damage done. Actually, he's in a really good position to potentially take down this 3rd. The 3rd base is going to go ahead and get focused down. More Lings out on the field. Banelings coming in, trying to get as much damage done as possible. The Marines will get taken out, and so will the rest of these tanks. One will just barely get picked up. Trying to do a little bit of fancy micro going on. But yeah, now Foxer really needs to be worried about a potential counterattack, stimming up his units, trying to take out these back rocks to help out with getting his expansion up as quickly as possible. But medevac bringing back the tank to get him back into position And yeah, at this point, Sorrow's definitely looking pretty good. Didn't lose his third base, which definitely was a key element to his survival and his position in this game. So we'll have to see whether or not Foxer's second attempt will be the nail in the coffin. But handful of mutas are in production. Needs to be a little careful. Scan goes down, shots going off, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. The tank will get taken out, but a lot of the banelings have been gone. Very nice splitting, minimal damage, and all of the banelings have now been focused down. The question is there enough Marines? Some really good micro going down. Crazy micro going down. Trying to get as much damage done on these roaches as possible. And Foxer going to be pushing up, getting himself some more opportunities to do a little bit of damage. Still haven't seen a whole lot of multi-pronged attacks. Definitely a viable option on this map, as the flight distance from base to base is pretty short. Mutas are going to swing in, try and see what they can scout, as well as if they can get any damage done. But we do have a big engagement going down here. Baneling's trying to get as much damage as possible, and it looks like the rest of these Marines will get cleaned up. But Muta's coming in here, starting to pick off some of these add-ons. This add-on is slowly dwindling, and will most likely go ahead and get taken out. Ling's coming in here down to the third. And yeah, looks like Foxer's going to be abandoning them. Some nice Widow Mine shots going off. Lings are going to walk into a whole bunch of Marines. And yeah, this attack's going to get denied for the time being. Holy cow. Overall, lots of trading. Not a whole lot of like significant damage, but just trading of units. Still a fair number of mutas out on the field. 13 in total. So actually, got to be careful not to let some of those. Ooh, nice shots coming off by some of those Marines. But so does Sorrow have enough? Baneling's being warped in, trying to get as much output damage as possible. Baneling shots going, not doing a whole lot of damage. Muta's trying to swing in and get some damage done, but at the cost of a handful. And it does look like the splitting of Foxer's just absolutely wrecking. Lot of very efficient trades. I mean, he is going to try and get out with a lot of these. Ooh, got to be careful not to leave too many of those units exposed. But yeah, medevacs, ooh, got to be careful. One medevac will go ahead and get taken off. The rest of the units trying to get in here. Marines going to be taking out some more units. Back and forth, back and forth. So it looks like Sar's just going to go ahead and chill out back at home. Now, I'm really surprised that Sorrow hasn't chosen to take a fourth base. He's taking a really long time to get his fourth base down. And meanwhile, Foxer's already got his up and running. So Foxer's definitely starting to show that economic edge that he's got. And definitely in a lot better position as far as his economy is concerned. So we're going to see whether or not these baited Widow Mines are going to be enough. We do have a Overseer being warped in. Okay. Oh, Widow Mine shots going off. Not quite getting the connects they need. Another shot's going down, but is there too much Zerg here? Widow Mine's not getting the connections that they need. Baneling's definitely getting the right hits, and it looks like the rest of this army will get cleaned up. But at this point, is there enough units out on the field? So Sorrow's trying to capitalize, get things going. And, you know, splits-wise, Foxer's just doing absolutely amazing, but his supply is starting to dwindle left and right. Does need to be very, very careful. Muta's getting the shots they need. More Lings streaming across the field. And my gosh, all of the splits are just fantastic, but it will be enough though. Units coming in here, some SCVs are getting pulled now, and the Baneling hit, you know, the Widow Mine hits just really haven't been there. I mean, he's got the number, he just hasn't been able to get the surface area. Muta's taking a lot of damage, and a lot of SCVs are falling here. 14 in total so far. Mule's getting dropped to try and minimize damage or economic damage. And actually, we do have Mutas coming in, trying to get some damage done here at the fourth base as well. So overall, Foxer you know, his economy's been left in shambles. The fourth base is no longer mining. Natural's just starting to get its back on its heels. And overall, SAR's definitely picking himself back up from this game. His fourth base has now been established. Going to start, most likely pull some drones. And wow, lots of drones getting pulled over there. And yeah, this planetary might potentially burn down if it's not tended to. SCV's trying to get to it as quickly as possible, like, ah! So 21 drones going to that fourth base. And yeah, I mean, at this point, Saro's definitely been putting a lot of hurt on. We'll have to see whether or not he can continue on getting the damage he needs done. Widowmine shots might be really good. Just taking out a good portion of the number of the link count, but overall, definitely trades are very back and forth. Supply has now evened out, and upgrades are gonna start to play a really big factor. Plus 3/3 is on the way for Foxer, so excuse me. That will definitely show to be a very, very nice addition to his army. And you're just swinging in here, trying to pick off things left and right. Got to be careful about these Widow Mines. Widow Mines definitely showing to potentially be a very big threat, as there are several of them streamed across the field. But the Lingbane handful of roaches, or single roach, all kind of showing their stuff. So yeah, I think Saro's just trying to find himself a good enough position. And actually, we do have some Thors being mixed in, so things are definitely starting to pan out. And actually, Foxer's army is kind of out of position for this. Ling's going to come in here and try and get some damage on Widow Mines, getting some decent shots off. But now with the army coming into play, that's a lot of freaking Marines. Holy cow, 71 Marines. So many. There's just a lot of DPS right there. Only 2 Thors. A couple more Thors I think would be a nice addition, but yeah, at this point, Foxer's maxed out. Definitely in a really strong position. Destructible Rock's going to be taken out to aid in the transferring of drones. And yeah, so things looking pretty darn good for Foxer. And Foxer's really come back. I mean, you know, it's been very back and forth, but I'd say for the most part, his splitting has been just on par every single time. So just boils down to, ooh, he's trying to debate whether or not he wants to engage in this. Widowmine's trying to get a good oh boy, here we go. Baneling's going off on all the Widowmines. Will there be enough? Baneling's rolling right in here, getting lots of damage done. Will the splitting be enough though? A lot of the Banelings are still alive. Can they make the connections they need? Ling's streaming in, and yeah, looks like Saro's actually pushed through this. Foxer's supply diminished significantly. A lot of really good Baneling shots, just absolutely barreling in, getting all that damage done. And I think we could potentially be seeing a GG relatively soon here. I do want to make a comment that the current score is 1-0, although I do not know who has the 1 and who has the 0. So yeah, so Ling's streaming in now. The Natural's now been ransacked, and now with supply depots being taken left and right, I'm not sure where these medevacs are going. They're just kind of flying across the field doing their thing. But yeah, with pretty much only Thors in production, and you know, Magic Box trying to go down, but Lings will now start to stream into the main. Production will now start to go down, and yeah, the medevacs are just like, what's going on, yo? But yeah, looks like at this point, Foxer's trying to hold on as much as he can. A lot of his production is going to go ahead and fall. But I mean, at this point, you know, what does he really have? Obviously, he's trying to rebuild some things. He's got a decent bank. But can he rebuild in time to deal with this army? That is the question. He's already got the upgrades for the most part, and things are definitely looking really good for him. But yeah, just it boils down to whether or not the army can get over here and get some damage done to these buildings that are currently in production. Trying to focus those down as much as possible. And yeah, the mute is definitely showing to be quite helpful. More lings streaming in here, and yeah, the SCVs are like, well, maybe we can't attack this. So yeah, main's been fully ransacked, and I think Foxer at this point is holding on to the very, very thin thread. GG, well played as call, and that is going to be the end of game number 2. I do not know whether or not we will be going back to the